Alright guys, HandsOnApproach here. Today I'm going to be showing you what to do before you change your blower motor on a 2014 F-150 XLT. And so before my blower motor's on, truck shut off, reach underneath here on the dash, and I mean you can literally just reach right in this area. There's a wiring harness hanging down, and you might just touch it and it come right on. This one's, I've been messing with it. It won't come on because I'm trying to do it. There it goes. See? I'm messing around with the harness. You can hear the blower come on. That pigtail right there is your blower resistor. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this off. That pigtail is your blower resistor. And right there's the plug. These things tend to get really hot, okay? And so that main power pin is the second one on the right there where my thumb's at, if I can get the focus. It's going to be burnt up in there. I've put some dielectric grease in there and cleaned it up once or twice, but it's time to change this thing. It's really easy to get to. I'm not even going to pull the glove box, but you can see the bottom of the plug right here. And you see it's got that blue screw right there, and there's another one over here. We're going to go ahead and pop that out, and I'll show you. It's a really simple to change. Here's my new one. All right, and I'm gonna probably cut in right here where I had my wife go pick it up, and the parts guy gave her the wrong one, and she asked if it was dual climate control, and she said no, and he's like, okay, it'll be the manual one. So I'm gonna slip that in here, maybe right now, or maybe at the end of the video. We'll see where I put it, but basically, they gave me the wrong part. I figured I'd save that footage so you could see the difference between the two. Biggest thing you can do, I don't have dual climate control, but evidently there's a resistor for dual climate control that fits this application, and it's the more expensive one. So, but okay, if you go to the parts store, this is gonna be like 80 bucks. And if you go on Amazon, I might put a link in the description. They're like 55 bucks with the harness, because you need to replace the harness because of that pin right there being burnt up. And of course, the pin inside the old one, when I pull it out, it'll be burnt up inside. So let's go ahead and pop it out real quick. See if I can get a good shot. This is a crappy place to try to do a video, but see if I can do it. I might be able to do it. I don't know. Oh shit. Don't go the wrong way. Go the wrong way, man. You might strip some plastic out. Now, of course, if you're using a normal ratchet, you don't have to worry about that. There's one screw. The second one's going to be harder to see. Pop both the screws. It's only got the two screws on it. Pop it out, and here you go. Sucker's been getting hot. You can see that pin is clearly melted. This camera does not want to focus on that, but you can see clearly melted. Now you can, okay, if you're on the side of the road and you just want to get your AC working, you can bend down. The pin's going to be a little wallowed out. You can bend that pin. It's a female terminal. You can bend it down and then throw some dielectric grease in it. Because all it does is get loose as it gets hot, and it doesn't make good contact and it starts melting in there. So you can squeeze it together, maybe with a pair of needle nose, which needle nose are really too big. You could get a strong pair of tweezers, squeeze it together, throw some dielectric grease in it, shove it back on there, and it's going to work. But it's only going to work for a month or two, and it's going to melt again. And so we're going to go ahead and fix it right. I got when you order this from Dorman, you get the harness with the plug and splicing it in. You can actually replace each little connector in there with a special tool. Most people don't have that, so, and actually it's more really of a pain in the ass than it's worth when you can get the whole thing in a little kit. So about 55 bucks on Amazon is better. I seen AutoZone was 104 and Advanced Auto was 104. AutoZone was like 96. So I went on Amazon, same product from Dorman. I'll throw the link in the description for 55 bucks. So you're gonna save about 50 bucks anyways. So all I'm gonna do is cut my plug off, and you can reference from the front of the plug because these are all black wires. Well, obviously, put the one on the right to the one on the right, the one on the right middle, the right middle, left middle, the left middle, and so on, and then get all four connected. And I'm gonna heat shrink the butt connectors down with my micro torch, and then plug in the new one, and it'll pretty much be all set. All right, guys, so I got my new pigtail butt connected with the new wires. All I did was I cut my plug off, and you can obviously see the laying it the same way as the other pigtail. Which color goes to what? There's only 4 wires, kind of hard to mess up. One thing I don't like is there's one wire that's itty bitty, and I crimped it down. It's tight, but be careful because it's so small. The one end of the wire is thick as the other end is small on the factory side. I don't really care for that, but sometimes when you buy aftermarket stuff, that's what you get. As long as it's tight, shouldn't have much of an issue. That's not carrying a lot, the small size is not carrying a lot of voltage or anything, so that's not going to cause an issue there. I do recommend getting your micro torch out and being careful enough, but just heating up these plug-ins. You know, there's not, if you don't do it, it's not going to kill anything because this is underneath the dash, so you're probably not going to have much moisture under there. But on anything outside of a vehicle, definitely you always want to make sure you do this, because all it does is keep you know, water destroys electrical systems. You know, that's pretty obvious. So you just want to make sure you careful with it. Don't burn up the wires. Take your time. You can use a lighter. Back in the day, I used to use a lighter for some of this kind of stuff. I don't smoke anymore, so you know, hey, gotta do what's expedient. So I'm just gonna heat all these up, and then I'll come back in just a minute. Okay, so we got the wires all tidied up and zip tied up. All that's left is to stick the new resistor into the mine. The plastic wants to pop off, but it ain't gonna matter, because when you tighten it up, the bolts are on the plastic, so it's not going to move anywhere. I was a little thrown off by that, but you know, it looks functional. Everything looks good on it, so I'm not too worried about it. Of course, for aftermarket Chinese stuff made in Taiwan, you know, hey, that's what you're going to get. I'm going to go ahead and stick this up in there, get my bolt started, and then I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I got my wires all heat shrink together good and everything, so now I'm just going to go ahead and stick this up in there. Obviously, there's only really one way for it to go in, right? The only kind of tricky part, I guess, is going to be starting these, but I mean, once you get them started with your finger enough to put your ratchet on it. If you're using cordless ratchet, remember it's plastic, so don't tighten it up too hard. I love my cordless ratchet, but you got to be careful with them, because they like to, you can't really see anything I'm doing here, I apologize for that. But you know, with these cordless ratchets nowadays, I see a lot of guys strip out holes on dashes because you got metal bolts going into plastic, which is always a little bit of a tricky thing. But with these cordless ratchets, you really want to watch it so you don't jack anything up. But I'm going to go ahead and get these things started. Kind of hard to do with one hand, and then I'll be right back. All right, guys, so as you can see, there's one of the blue bolts. Best I can do right now with the setup I got right now. But basically, man, I wish that could be a little brighter. But anyways, you see it, blue bolt, resistor's up in the hole. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just plug it in. Make sure it snaps in all the way. And then let's check it. Blower motor on. And there you go. And that's pretty much it for this job. Only thing else I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get a couple zip ties, zip tie this up underneath, and we'll be all set. I don't think I need to show you guys how to do that, but just, I wanted to stop anybody before they change their blower motor. I've actually already had to change my blower motor because it was sometimes wanting to work and sometimes not wanting to work. But now that the resistor has been changed, I should be good for a long time. A lot of different vehicles have the same problem. So if you're working on a Chevy or a Ford or any kind of any vehicle that's got a resistor well, a blower motor that changes speeds, you're going to have a resistor. So between the blower motor and the resistor and the fuse, you're going to find your problem. So this is just a quick fix. You know, I hope you liked the video. I just went over 500 subscribers. Just wanted to say thank you. And here's the part from Dorman part number. If you go to you know, AutoZone or whatever, they're gonna pull up the same part. because I went and crossed it myself. On Dorman stuff, if you can get on Amazon, I know some people might say I don't want to go to Amazon, I don't trust it, blah blah blah. Dorman's Dorman. If it's Dorman, it's Dorman. If it's VDO, it's VDO. I would just stay away from, you know, a crazy name that you haven't heard of before. But anyways, like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe and like and share my videos. I appreciate it. And until next time, hands-on approach. You know, have a good one.